All right. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. Hit that like button real quickly. Let's watch this short video. Some of you will probably know who Maurice Chestnut is. Maurice Chestnut is known, I think his first breakthrough was Boys in the Hood. But he has many movies. I think in more recent times, maybe Best Man Holiday. They also have, I think, a series or something like that coming out, right? So he had something to say. Maurice Chestnut is one of America's finest actors, in my opinion. You know, but he's a black man. But he's like 50 something years old now. You know. But he has a story that he's going to share with us, and I wanna end today's session with that. Speaking of, you think, you plan your life out, and but this is what happens between the age of 15 when you become balaga, meaning a whole human being can come out of you, and that 35 age that people think they're suddenly ready to have a wife or a husband. A lot can happen. A lot is going to happen. A lot of those things are going to be painful. A lot of those things are going to be traumatic experiences that you're just, even though you're trying to avoid it to happen anyway, because you're not God, right? So, and I'm not rushing anybody. I'm saying engage a little bit more engage the topic of romance and getting married, if that's what you want, by the way. Engage it from a more objective standpoint. And it's very difficult because, of course, you will speak from your experience, like me, like everybody else, right? But engage it more from a pragmatic, objective standpoint. Being able to see both sides, being able to live on the fence and say, I can see from this side, I can see from this side, and then kind of like adjust accordingly, and then talk to the elders. Talk to the elders, talk to a counselor, talk to, listen to people that have done it, people that have failed in it, people that have succeeded in it, both sides, right? And engage it like that, right? If all you do is talk to people that have succeeded in it, call it work. Because they will paint, obviously, this unrealistic picture for you. If you talk to only people that have failed in it, that's worse, okay? Because they will basically destroy your good potential experience for you with their own bullshit, okay? So you need a good balance. People that have had experience, that they can speak to some of the negative experience that can come with marriage, and then being on the other side of it and understand, right? So but let's talk. Let's listen to this short clip real quickly.
I was a deadbeat dad, and he's been my son, and he's been my son.
So what's the backstory, real quickly? It was being dragged on the internet that he's a deadbeat dad. Somebody was putting some news out there. He's explaining where that came from, basically. All right.
That I haven't been speaking about for all these years, and basically what happened was back when I was 17 years old, I got involved with a consensual friendship with someone. It wasn't a relationship. We never, we never went on dates. We never, went to eat.
You smashed it.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was one of those. Yeah, okay, I'll let you say it. It was one of those types of situations, and then after a while, she came up and she told me she was pregnant, and I was like, okay. At that time, I was 18 years old. I said, okay, I'm gonna step up and do the right thing.
Oh, you didn't run like Ricky did when he was done. Just take off.
No, I never run from my responsibilities, man. That's one thing. That's one thing about myself is like I always look at all my situations, all my past situations in life, my failures and my successes, and I'll take responsibility, for them all. And so, if that was the case, which she told me at the time, I stepped up and said, okay, I'll be a father, to the child. Mm-hmm. And then he said basically, and I don't know, basically, I don't fault him for saying what he's saying, because I feel that he's been told lies all of his life, by his mother. But
let me slow down real quickly. This is right. He said he stepped up, right? He stepped up. It's going to be the father is going to, try to do the best he could do, right? But that's not the end of the story. Wait.
He says that I left after Boys in the Hood came out. Then I just all of a sudden up and left and got another family. But that's not what happened. Basically, what happened was she put the baby on me. I tried to step up and do the right thing. We were together for the wrong reasons, and we tried to make it work. We were together breaking up. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I did get Boys in the Hood, and the movie came out. But this time that we broke,
Boys in the Hood was what, 1990? What year are we in right now? So we're talking about what, 32 years ago? So the person we're talking about is over 30, right? That that could potentially be his son, right?
Up instead of it just being a regular breakup, I'm getting hit with a paternity suit.
Yeah, trap.
Yeah,
Oh,
now
it's
it's
movie
like,
style.
yeah, exactly. So now it's, she's hit me with a suit. Her and her mother lawyered up or whatever, and then I had to do the same thing. And at that time, we had to take a paternity test, and it came out that I was not the father of the child.
Damn.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He wasn't the father. But that wasn't the end of the story.
Yeah, and so then now, and to me, I think the disappointing. I mean, I understand.
Now, before we move forward, if you are 17, 18 years old, right, and you experience something like this, like a woman trying to put a baby on you, you think suddenly that you found out now that it's not your baby, you think that was the end of it? Is that really the end of it? I'm asking you. Is that the end of it? What would happen to your mindset about women? Where would that put you in terms of expectations of women in general over time? Potentially. Not always, but potentially. Right? Are you just going to walk around free and happy, like everything is good again, like, oh, I could just knock anybody up? And remember, he just experienced his first success. And then suddenly he's being dragged through the court, child support court. And then he now found out that, oh, it's a lie all the while. This is not, right? Is he just going to get back out here and be like, oh, yeah. What happens to the next person he's going to try to date? The next person he dates will collect. They don't even know why they're collecting, right? He's going to look over his shoulder. He might even dig through their phones and say, hey, maybe this is another one that will sleep with another man and try to put a baby on me. Maybe insecure, right? We don't know. Every human being, how they respond to that will be different, but most likely it's going to be negative, right? And it's going to be negative in a way that actually is negative forward, right? Every time he engages in another relationship, it's going to suspect maybe somebody's out to get me again, right? What about the young lady herself, right? She felt what she felt, even after she got found out, like, oh wait, you were sleeping with multiple. Maybe she didn't know that, it wasn't really. I think she knows. Women know when they end up with multiple people and it could potentially be somebody else's baby. They know, right? Do you think she would just say, oh, I'm accountable, I will never do that? Let's see what she did after that.
And where he's coming from, because he's been lied to and brainwashed all of his life, and I think people should really ease up on him on the internet, because you can only imagine going through certain things as a child, and that goes into your your adult life. You're a product of your experiences and your environment. So I don't.
This is a refined man talking. I don't know him, just off of what he's saying right now. This is a refined man. There are men in his age, 50, 55, 60, that will completely overreact to say, what kind of nonsense is this, right? They would drag the... Can you imagine 50 Cent going through this, right? We talked about 50 Cent and his son here the other time. What do you think will happen? Right? Can you imagine that? This is a refined man talking. It takes a lot to be in this space. You're being dragged, but you're saying people should take it easy on him, on a 30-something-year-old man who is claiming you are his father, but he knows otherwise, right? But there's more to the story. Let's keep going.
Really blame him. I'm disappointed in him, but I really blame her for a certain extent, because she's been saying stuff throughout the internet for years, talking about how I'm a deadbeat father, but never once did she mention what the situation was. Exactly.
We're talking about 32 years later. He's being dragged. Would you blame this man if he's feeling some type of way? I would, because I'd be like, hey, get you, just like I'm about to blame the 32-year-old audio son right now, right? Yeah, get your shit together. You're a grown man in a war that's dangerous. You should know that already, right? But on one side of things, I can understand when people have gone through this kind of experience and they don't want to give grace. Yeah.
Exactly.
did that affect you? Because you were there when when he was born. You
Right.
helped raise him to a certain extent, and then
Right.
they just pulled away. That's not yours.
Yeah, you know, it was very difficult, you know, because it wasn't even just me involved. It was my mother feeling that she had her first grandchild, my sister. It was family that was involved.
There are family involved. When this kind of stuff happen, there's more people involved. It's not just you and your selfish. That's just how I feel. Shut your dirty mouth up. Right? There's more to it. There's always more to it, you know?
How old was he when you found out?
He was about 3 years, 3, 4 years
3
old.
years invested. Oh,
Yeah.
He was 3 years old when he found out that's not his son. What do you think that makes him feel like? Let me give you an example. If a man thinks he has a son for 3 years and suddenly it's not his son, emotional damages is created. It's not as simple like, oh, I just walk away, I'm free. No. There's only 2 people that think that way. It's bigger than that, you know? Just Jay in the house. Okay, so for all 134 of you listening, Just Jay used to be the only one listening to me on the days when it's not 0. Okay, so shout out to you, Just Jay. That's the real day one. Shout out to you. Thanks for stopping by. Let's keep going.
Yeah, it was 3 years. Yeah, it's 3 years and all. And so they said, you know, it says that I left, and it wasn't even the fact of me just leaving. It was a situation where I was like, listen, you need to tell him who his real father is so he can establish a relationship. And the same way that you and your mother are coming after me for money, you need to go after him.
Yeah.
And you know, apparently that never happened. And I think the first time types of situations, and then you know, after a while, she came up and she told me she was pregnant. And
My daddy.
You might as well.
and the same way that you and your mother are coming after me for money, you need to go after him.
Yeah.
And you know, apparently that never happened. And I think the first.
So maybe she didn't really know who it was. Maybe she was sleeping with multiple people at the same time. This happens in real life. Okay. This happens all the time in real life. Okay? This happens all the time in real life. Okay? Let's keep going. Women, you know, not all women, of course. Most, I'll tell you like this. All the women I know personally have never done anything crazy like this, but there's more than enough people doing it. Okay? So, in fact, Nigerians, we know that Nigerians and Jamaica, some statistics out there is saying they're top number 1 in paternity fraud and stuff like that out there, you know. But that has nothing to do with nothing. I'm talking particularly about when you are 17, you're literally 17 years away from 35. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You're literally 17 years away from 35 years old. You think you're just going to walk in through this wall and things are not going to happen to you emotionally? I think at that point you should actually start to learn emotions. Okay, learn how to express yourself emotionally, learn how to process your emotions. I think we've never done that. Instead, what we do is like, we tell people since their front cortex is not developed, they should wait until they are 45. Nah, people know how to go and poop and eat and go and take meat from their mother's soup pot and cheat and steal and lie at 17. If you know how to do those things at 17, they should also learn how to operate emotionally. We need to start having that conversation as early as possible. If you're 25, 26, 27 and you're not ready, you're not going to be ready at 45. It's actually going to get worse. It's actually going to get worse.
First time he was 3, I didn't talk to him and tell him that I wasn't his father at 3. But once he got older, I sat him down and said, listen, I'm not your father. And it was like the first time he heard it. So I don't really know what was going on with that situation.
That had to be hard. That sounds cruel as hell.
Well, the first.
So at 3, he left that baby's life, right? Because 3, you couldn't tell the baby 3, but he started being around. He stopped being around. But the mother and probably the mother's family or people who believe her terrible stories probably kept telling him lies. What do you think that does to a young man who is being told lies all of his life? Now, if he's on the receiving end as an actor that he is, Maurice Chestnut, and he's seeing people drag him for something they didn't do, right? What would immature men do They will start overreacting all over the place. They will join the manosphere and start dragging all women, right? What is he saying? He said, wait. There's a reason why this young man is acting this way. He's being told lies. Oh yeah, but that's pandering. Oh, is this pandering too? You see how stupid that sounds, right? No, slow the fuck down. People that are acting a certain way around you, there's a reason why they're acting. If you're not slowing down, if you're not slowing down, how are you gonna understand what is going on around you? You're just ready to judge and condemn and like, oh yeah, but I'm gonna drag that little boy. Like, you will collect too.
Yeah, little boy, Dad, I'm not your daddy.
Yeah, no. First time, when I told him, it was very emotional.
What age was
on
he?
both of us. I don't really know. I believe he was around. Probably was like 9.
He was 9 years old.
Tell everybody that's my daddy.
You might as well. You should have rolled that one out.
Imagine you're 9 years old, you thought Maurice Chestnut, even worse. You thought Maurice Chestnut was your father, and you were now being told that, hey, little boy, I'm not your father. Your mom needs to tell you who your real father is. What do you think that does? Yeah, if I were Maurice Chestnut, I would talk to a therapist or a counselor first before I disclose something like that to that little boy. But maybe he felt like, wait, I've told him to tell him. He should know by now. 9 years old is a big baby. Smart enough to know that, hey, I thought I'll be here for you, anything, but I'm not really your biological father. There's no way to make that kind of conversation easy. That conversation is always going to be tough. It's one of the things you have to face, regardless, right?
Mars.
Well, just wrote it out.
Yeah, I wrote it out.
No. Listen. I say it's a very delicate situation for people involved. Like I say, with him, it's a tough situation for him. So I don't really blame him. I'm disappointed, but it's something that I thought that his mother was telling him after they tried to hit me with the suit, and we weren't getting along. And her mother and her, they were very angry, and her mother wasn't the nicest person to begin with because of everything that was going on. You couldn't really communicate. You can't communicate with somebody like that.
Wow. Can't really be mad at the lady.
Jesus.
There's a lot of girls out there like, I'd have trapped him too, girl. You did the right thing.
No, it wasn't. But to me,
You're a big thought over here, man.
I don't think, to me, I think what really bothers me with her is the fact that she perpetuated the whole thing years. I've read something on the internet
years.
that was in 2013 talking about how I was a deadbeat.
All right, let's leave that at that. Okay, so tomorrow, if Evan doesn't fall out of the skies tomorrow, we'll be here talking about, we'll talk about, we're going to be reviewing this video tomorrow, okay? We'll go through this video, and then we'll review that tomorrow. Ladies, you definitely want to be here tomorrow. I will be analyzing this. This video is 7 minutes or so, okay? We'll be analyzing that tomorrow. Yeah, so that's correct. I agree with you, Rebecca. The boy's mom should be doing the telling, but he will probably try to do the right thing, but I don't know, man. I don't know. He's probably just trying to, since he was in his life for about 3 years and all that drama, and the boy keeps saying, most men will not even be around for a child that's actually, not most men, but a lot of men will not be around for a child that doesn't belong to, that belongs to them. Much less like, I know that's not my child, right? But he probably had a little bit of emotional connection to that boy and was just trying to make sure the boy is good. And it's turned out still badly, right? And he's believing the lies, but they can still do DNA test again if they want to, so he can get his stuff together. But the emotional damage is what I'm talking about, right? The longer you wait without learning how these things work, the more emotional damages are going to be created. And you're not helping yourself. That's number one. You're not helping everybody you're going to engage with, right? In any capacity, a sibling, brother, sister, a romantic lover, even worse, because there's no paycheck on Friday. Even at work, when there's paycheck on Friday, you get fired all the time, or you end up firing everybody that works for you all the time because you refuse to understand that there's more to any story than what you can see. And the only way you can find those things out is to learn how to actively listen to the emotions behind the scenes. All right, so shout out to all of you. I used to be able to go through the names and say shout out to this person, shout out to this person, but we're not stopping. We're growing. We're moving fast. We're gonna be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. All right. Do not wait if you have your suspicions. Yeah, if you have suspicions, it's already messed up. You might as well do what you gotta do, right? Judy never care about the well-being of her son. Judy, I think Judy, but Judy go do all right, Judy go collect. That's one thing we know, So yeah, shout out to Just J, Clementina, D Love, Chinye, everybody that's been here, Bro Patrick, everyone that you're brand new here. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe. Take a link to this video and share with somebody. Okay. Take a link of this video and share with somebody. And after we're done with wrap up live, come back and tell me. Give me a feedback in the comment area. Let me know if you really like this session. If there's any adjustments, some things you don't like. Maybe the countdown is too long. Tell me something that you would like me to adjust on, and they will all be considered. So you just saying don't wait on DNA testing. Yeah, I believe DNA should be a must in every home. I'll be careful with that rhetoric, but if you feel that way, you probably should go do it. If you already feel that way, it's already bad. Remember, feelings, right? It's going to eat you up for a long time. But if people are in good situation, they could also be on the edge because of other reasons, and they could use their own hands to destroy their family with all that DNA talk, and it had nothing to do with DNA all the while. But hey, to each his own. If you already feel that way, you probably should go do it. It's already bad. If you already feel like, yeah, I'm not sure, then it's bad. Just go do what you gotta do. So yeah, so thank you so much for everyone for stopping by. I'm gonna go take a shower, drink some cold water, eat a little snacks. I shouldn't be eating this late. I'm gonna just go relax a little bit because I'm a little exhausted. But I'm having a good time. We're going to be back here 5 p.m. tomorrow to talk about, I'm going to tell you the title right now. If nothing very hot comes up, okay? The title is going to be Bolanle Schools, Modern Women and Single Ladies on Toka Moment. So when you see that, look out for it. Turn on the notifications, turn on scheduling, notify me, all that good stuff, right? Do that so that you make sure you get notified. Oh, there's one more thing that I really should not leave you without. Join the Prestige family on lolaandola.com/WhatsApp. Okay, just go to that link on your phone, and it will take you into the WhatsApp group. Okay, if you don't have WhatsApp already, to download it and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I wanted to drop that before we leave. All right, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.